I'm gonna start working on the insulation. Doesn't seem to get stiff. So bright and early tomorrow I'll remove everything, glue down the wooden beams and put in the insulation in between. I've been living in my 1979 Mercedes camper for 2 years now. I love that van, but it was itching me to do my own conversion. Alone and without any experience, I sold my old van and started with my very own van build. So good morning everyone. Last time I had a problem with my foam that I wanted to spray in the little cracks between my insulation. I went to go to the little tiny hardware store kind of thing here in town to get a different kind of foam. This is just regular PU foam. Let me just read out to you what it says. Extremely flammable, probably causes cancer, can damage your organs, can cause heavy eye inflammation, can damage your lungs, skin irritations, and can cause allergic reactions. So that's what I wanted to avoid when I tried using the other foam thing. But since the other foam didn't work, let's try that and hopefully that works a bit better. I don't want to use this foam the same way I used the other one. So this time I got those two. Number 1, number 2. So one of my things is empty now. All of this and a little bit back there was about 1. And I still have all this to do. I mean, obviously there I used a little bit too much, but it's really hard to dose the thing and know how much it will expand afterwards. So hopefully I'll be a bit more efficient with the next one. Number 2. So round 2, I actually had to go to the store again and get 2 more because I only got 2 at the beginning. The only reason why I only got 2 more is because those were the last 2 in the store. But I fear that this is not going to be enough. That's the result. There's nothing left. I might get another one another day and touch it up a bit. Also, I wanted to fill up these a bit better, so I don't have to put actual insulation on them. Yeah, so too bad that I had to work with limited resources here, but now I finally want to glue the wooden beams to the floor. Oh, but before I do the gluing, I first need to put some vapor barrier around the wheel arches, because otherwise I won't be able to get it between the wood and the wheel arches anymore. This giant roll is a bit of a pain. I'm about halfway through with my floor, and I just switched over from my leftover SikaFlex to this kind of non-brand glue. It's a bit cheaper than SikaFlex, but I guess it has different properties, so let's hope that it will keep these beams in place. And I'm done. That's it. That's my floor. It's so nice already to walk around on this new floor because my feet were always getting super cold, and this insulation already makes a huge difference. Right now I really feel like I'm making proper progress, which feels really good because I really need that progress and the feeling that I'm making progress. It's already getting dark, so I'm gonna call it for today. Yeah, see you tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. It is raining today, as you can hear probably. I just came in here to check how my windows are doing and if I still have some water leaks. Actually, it doesn't look like it. Also, nothing on the floor. Everything nice and dry. So that's pretty good. I had this problem with the leak in this thing here. I'm glad that I didn't put the wood insulation in there, because otherwise this would be soaked with water now. So the rain is making things a little bit more complicated now, but there's still stuff that I can do. I still have to seal up the floor with this aluminum tape. So we'll see what we can do while it's raining. I actually already like it in here. The temperature is much nicer. It's actually warmer in here. The floor is nice and warm. The windows make it super bright, even though it's really cloudy and kind of grayish outside. The insulation has already transformed this space quite a lot. Alright, stop talking. Let's get started on working. So I'm almost done taping all of the floor with this aluminum tape. But I realized that because I put these beams between the metal whatever kind of things that were on the floor, some of them are lower and some of them are higher. Those ones in this direction are higher because they sit on the things, and those ones sit lower because they're between those. The gap is quite big, and so I thought about raising certain ones, especially these ones that are going to be in the area where I'm going to be walking around. I created these things here. They're quite thin, and if I've measured that correctly, they should fit in here perfectly to make it even, and then I can tape over it and it's a bit nicer. I'm also going to glue them. Put some little glue in between. I don't think I actually need to glue them at all, but you know, thought it might be nice. Nice. Actually, it's perfect actually. So now some aluminum tape. And now we have a nice even surface. So I started putting up the bubble wrap aluminium foil kind of thing on the wall, and it already looks much cleaner, which is really nice. It kind of hides my pretty dirty work. I'm also starting to put in, or test to put in, some of the tubes here to put in the wires through the wall basically, so I can then insulate it. But it just occurred to me that I might have accidentally built this spaceship. Got some serious spaceships vibes going on right now. Especially this tube here that's hanging out. It's so spacey. I am about to put this up down there, but there is still some problems with my leaks that are coming out of this beam. So I'm keeping this open for now until I have a solution for this. But apart from that, I am pretty much done with putting this stuff up. Obviously the ceiling still is missing completely, but that's probably going to be one of the next steps. I thought I was going to do the ceiling next, the insulation of the ceiling. There's no insulation up there yet, because I realized, if I'm working in here, I'm damaging the floor actually with every single step that I made. So first I want to make sure the floor is nice and solid and protected so I can continue working. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So first step I'm going to do for the floor is I have this green foam kind of thing. It's going to protect my vapor barrier down here. I don't want anything to break this, and I also hope that it's going to level out the little imperfections that I have down there. So I hope I can get a nice and flat and even ground with the help of this stuff. Yeah, let's get started laying this out. So that was that. That was actually pretty fast. And now, let's get to the laminate. This is the laminate I'll be using. It's super heavy, but it's pretty beautiful and it's easy to maintain. So I am doing it anyway, even though it's really heavy. I'm going to do this over there. Let me show you why. So this here is the old floor, and I'm going to use this as a blueprint for my laminate. So laying this out here gave me a little bit of a rough idea of how this is going to look like. It's pretty straightforward apart from the side pieces, but I'm going to add the side pieces later, and for now just do the bigger pieces. Come on. That's pretty ugly. God, there's so many mosquitoes in here right now. Oh, it's crazy. Animals are great. I love all kinds of animals, but mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, no. No. Ugh. I hate this stuff. Leave me alone. Alright, let's continue. So I'm done with the easy part, and now for the more difficult parts. Back there, here in the corner, and over there. And I'm not gonna carve around the wheel edges because there's gonna be a box sitting on top of it. It's gonna cover it up anyway, so I think that should be alright, just making it square and having some little gaps in between. This one gets the 50.5. Alright, let's cut those. And just like that, I'm done with the floor. Look at this. The color is so beautiful and the size is perfect, and I'm so happy with what I chose. And it's nice and comfortable. I think it's nice to see the whole floor process, that it's really fast. It took me like maybe half a day or something to do everything. So, and I think the result is really nice. Obviously, I'll add some pieces on the sides, so you don't really see these edges. But the laminate increases in size and shrinks a little bit, depending on the heat and everything. So that's why I left all of these gaps. So I need to add some trim pieces. But for now, it's fine because I needed the floor in to be able to work on the ceiling. So that's what I'm going to be working on today. So let's get to it. So first things first, I will strip down the aluminum on one of the two sides in order to be able to carve them. Really important to wear gloves at this point because I've cut my hand so many times already. See this big scratch there? Yeah, that's from that, and 1,000 more if you're so stupid to do this too, just like me. Then better wear gloves. Alright, that was one of the 8 that I have to do now. So that was the last one, and now get those things cut up and on the ceiling. So I just hung up these boards up here with some duct tape. They fit really nicely, but actually those are not the 4mm that I wanted to use for up here, but the 2.5mm that I have left from the floor, and they fit perfectly in here. The other ones are half a centimeter too thick, so I'm thinking about just using the 2.5mm ones that I have left, but that would make things so much easier, but that would also make my insulation a bit worse, and the ceiling is actually the most important part of the insulation, so I started trying to use the 4mm ones for this one up here and see how well that goes, and then I'll decide if I want to go through this or not. So the ceiling is done. Next step would be to fill everything with expanding foam, but I don't have this foam at the moment, sadly. But it's alright, I have plenty of other things to do. I actually hope it's gonna rain again, so I can test this part. Update on the leak situation. I'm pretty sure that the leak was because of this track of the side door, and it was leaking in from above. So I took some of the sealant stuff that I had left from sealing the windows and put it up all along this edge. And also in, oh, you can't really see it, it's really dark, but in this hole because there's a screw here. And just a minute ago I poured at least 5 liters of water on top of it before it leaked out there, and after I put in the spray foam insulation it leaked out here, but as you can see down there and up here, so far all dry. I'll wait for another couple of minutes, so I make sure that it doesn't seep through and then come through here, but no, seems dry for now. So it seems like it worked. Nice. That's really good news that my ceiling operation probably worked out, because I really don't want to have water go into my insulation. Even though the insulation in that part is it's not going to develop any mold or rot or anything, but still it's nice to know that there are no leaks and no water coming into the shelf and rust my stuff and everything. So that's pretty good. That's pretty relieving.
Of the cared and wills to realize reduced to 3 apiece.
So now that I finished all my big tasks, and I can't really do that whole lot of big things before I restock on my foam, I was able to put some time into removing everything above the cap, which was a lot of work. That took a really long time. Actually, I did it in several stages. I didn't really film a lot because it was just so frustrating. If you can avoid doing that, just don't try to remove the stuff. There was like a plastic kind of thing up there. It was just big and didn't use the space very well. It was really heavy. So I really wanted to remove that. If I'd known how much work that was, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But no, I'm pretty glad it's gone now. So that's gone now. Now I can also try to insulate that part. I just realized how nice the light is here. It's so cool. It's just because of this window up here. Not nice. Nice light. So this is how far I've gotten so far. Thick ones on both sides and thin ones up there. So it's been a couple of days since I was here last, and there's a couple of things that actually fell down when I was away. So I got to put them up again and then use this wonderful, completely poisonous and terrible for the environment PU foam. Hopefully today is the last time I'm gonna use this stuff, and then never again. Now everything's hopefully nice and protected. So this task was really frustrating because the foam stuff doesn't really stick to the ceiling and it all falls down, and you can see on the floor how much just how much I'm wasting down there. But also the insulation comes down from the ceiling too. Also my step down here that I built, it just broke. So nothing's working out right now. Oh, it's really frustrating. So the problem is that these PU foam boards, it's really crumbly, and these crumbly parts and dusty parts, they just prevent any glue from sticking on there. So there's really no use of trying to glue that to the ceiling. I don't know. As you can see, I'm not very happy. It's not looking good. I really want to finish this stupid installation stuff. It's taken me over a month to do everything. I waited a little bit to see how the foam is doing. And yes, it actually did glue stuff to the ceiling. Not everything, of course, but something. So I'm probably just gonna try to continue doing what I did. It's just, why can't it just be easy? Why does it always have to be complicated? And every time I feel like I learned something, now I know how to do it, so it's gonna be much faster. It's not, because there's another thing that I have to do that is more complicated. Oh well. I mean, at least something is working. Even though it's not working very well, it is kind of working, so. I think I'm gonna be so happy when I'm done with all this installation work, because so I think I'm done. I hope that most of the stuff on the ceiling stays there. The foam should already be dry, so I'm going to remove the rest with this nice little knife and then hope nothing falls down on my head. And it's looking really nice and clean now. Doesn't look like anything went wrong at all. I have some new aluminium tape, and I'll vapor barrier seal whatever the ceiling. And just like this, I'm done. I'm done with all the insulation, all of the vapor barrier stuff. As you can see here, it's all sealed up nicely. Wow, that was so much work. I mean, not the sealing up, but the whole installation process anyway. I didn't think it would take that long. But in the end, it's here, it's done, finally. And I can finally move on to some nicer materials. Wood, for example. And but what exactly I'm gonna do is something for the next episode. Thank you guys for sticking with me through this tiring task of doing this installation. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye! So, I don't know about you guys, but I love my new floor. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoyed the van build series in general, if you think so, you can, I don't know, just drop me a like or send me a comment or something. That really keeps me motivated to make these videos. And yeah, thank you all for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.